All right, good morning and thank you for joining us this beautiful Friday morning. It's TVC Breakfast and thanks for joining us once again. I am Kemi Foladiemo with Ibrahim Shita. Good morning.
Good to see you.
What a week it's been.
Yeah,
and congratulations on the end of the Ramadan fast.
Right.
How was the celebration?
Well, it's just a normal celebration, just marking the end. But for some of us who would still want to continue fasting, we still have
really?
Monday, Thursday fasting.
Those that skipped some days?
Yeah, those who missed some days, will definitely have to pay back. And there's still another 6, which, you have a reward as if you fasted perpetually.
But not compulsory?
No, it's not compulsory, but it's advisable to do it. But then you can do it.
Wow.
You can stagger it, maybe here, maybe today, next tomorrow, before the next Ramadan.
I see.
You have time to do it.
Okay, and of course there's the big one, the big Salah.
In about 2 months' time.
2 months, right? Oh, okay.
So that's where you can, pester me for need. All of that.
All right, we can't wait. We can't wait. We'll sure be here to celebrate together. All right, so this morning we're beginning on the international scene, especially for old-timers around us. You must have heard about the fascinating story of OJ Simpson, a former U.S. football star who was acquitted of murder in a widely watched trial in the 90s. Well, he has now died. He died at the age of 76. In a statement shared on social media on Thursday morning, Mr. Simpson's family says he died on Wednesday after battling with cancer. The star NFL football player was acquitted for the brutal murders of his wife and a male friend. Friends, fans and supporters are sharing their condolences over his passing. Well, may his soul rest in peace. And what a checkered life that OJ Simpson lived. Braved many wars, fought many wars, even from childhood. Reports say that he had rickety legs, so to speak, and had to be on crutches for about 3 years, from age 2 to age 5. And who would know that he would turn out to be an incredible football player, well-celebrated career, and all of that. But then, entering after the 90s or thereabout, entering, so many scandals, including the one that involved him being accused of killing his wife and her male friend, and the trial, as many of us may not have followed at the time, but of course in the U.S. it was a widely celebrated case, closely followed even in the White House. We understand that the then President Bill Clinton watched. Eventually OJ Simpson was acquitted, but that didn't stop the legal battles that he also had to face afterwards. Yeah,
it was an amazing and interesting and turn and twist, twist and turn rather for life and times of OJ Simpson. His life just went like a parabola, starting from the lower, climbing up into
the peak,
crescendo,
right?
And then, coming down, because of some of the trial, that widely acclaimed televised, trial, which was done, during his trial after being accused of, being charged, for the murder of the wife and a male friend. The ex-NFL star turned actor, he also, did some sort of, had a stint in acting and all of that, who was later acquitted of murdering his ex-wife, and then, died on Wednesday, talk about yesterday, of complications from prostate cancer. So, at age 61, Simpson received a 33-year prison sentence for robbery, because the reason why he was acquitted was due to a similar, not similar situation, but then there was a case that actually went on where, the accusation of racism against the judges and all of that, which held sway then in the U.S. That's one of the reasons why they felt, okay, we have to acquit this OJ Simpson. And then it later went on because, financial complications and all of that. He went into robbery, stealing even his own memorabilia.
Claiming they were still his after they had been auctioned to pay for the judgment debt.
Absolutely. So, then he was now handed, 33-year prison sentence, for that robbery and kidnapping, and received parole in 2017 after serving the minimum 9 years. So at trial, Simpson maintained he was trying to get back some of his, just like you said, own belongings when he helped plot and execute an armed robbery in Vegas hotel. So both sides deliver closing arguments. The first trial where he was accused of murdering the wife and the male
friend,
and his concubine. Koran, who was his own attorney, delivered a now famous line, which you are very familiar with: if it doesn't fit,
acquit
you must acquit.
Right.
So it became very, very prominent at that time. So the trial stretched on for months and became a global spectacle. It's one of the first televised start-to-finish legal proceedings to a national audience. So for years after Simpson trial, it was extremely difficult to get judges to give a green light to cameras, in the courtroom. And, the 90-minute slow chase by the police, in order to arrest him became very, very, famous. And the televisation of his trial also became, very, very famous for several months. And it was quite interesting, how everything, came up. But, so many lessons to pick from there. You just have to be good, whatever you do, and then always work towards having a very positive history for people to remember you for.
Absolutely. But to many, it's still a death that many are mourning. But at the same time, like you have said, it was a very divisive period. It still kind of remains a divisive period, or continues to divide the larger society, American society, because that trial, the trial involving the murder of OJ Simpson's former wife and her male friend, divided the country in terms of racism. The white American society still believes, according to reports, that he had a hand in killing, the two, while, of course, the black community continued to rejoice over his acquittal. But that didn't end it. He still had to pay a humongous fine because the family of the deceased still pressed on with their claims that he had a hand in their death, and he got to pay. The court found him negligent and liable to pay millions of US dollars, which brought about, the auctioning of some of his prized assets, and which he also went on to say he was still going to, to take back. But that period, he wasn't. Yes, there were some portions of the debt, of the judgment debt, that he still couldn't settle. But yes, you've just given us, something we can take home. That wherever you are, especially when you are famous, there is this onus on you to continue to be a good example to everyone. Of course, it's a big pressure. It's big pressure, maintaining that fame and all of that. But yes, the onus is on you. All right, we will leave that story and come back home